In the past decade or so, there's been a huge resurgence of old school tech like vinyl records and Polaroid cameras. I mean, I'm one of those people. I have hundreds of records and I've taken hundreds of Polaroid photos. And there's a company right here in Milwaukee that's selling and refurbishing thousands of these nostalgic items every year.
There's a huge demand for things like refurbished iPods, early 2000s digital cameras, and CD players, things of that nature.
Kori Fuerst started Retrospekt with her husband, Adam. They refurbish and sell everything from Polaroids to VHS tapes to cassette players, iPods, and more.
I just think there's this craving. I call it secondhand nostalgia because a lot of our audience purchasing these things are younger. They're on the younger side, Gen Z typically. So they didn't grow up with these things, but they're very curious about the tech of the past.
Beyond refurbishing vintage items, they also manufacture retro-inspired tech. They make modern replicas of Polaroid cameras and partner with global brands like Pepsi, Fendi, and Barbie. Retrospekt's business is split about 50-50 between vintage items and modern replicas.
All of these things offer a really satisfying, ritualistic experience that I think a new generation is really craving.
Like flipping a vinyl record or loading film. And Retrospekt's growth is evidence that people really want this old tech. Retrospekt formally started in 2015. At first, the focus was just cameras. As business grew, so did the product line and the need for more space. So they moved in here in 2020.
That is mind-blowing to me as someone that just started it ourselves and hired our first employee from a little pull tag flyer we put up at my ad 10 years ago.
Especially considering they just fell into this. Kori has a master's degree in speech pathology. Adam has a master's in occupational therapy. They just started selling cameras online in the early 2010s to make some extra cash. Now, they run a 40-employee company.
I can't imagine anything else, but this is not what I imagined for my life. But it's really wonderful to be in this retro tech space that brings people a lot of joy.
In the hyper-digital age of touchscreens, streaming services, and smartphone cameras, there's just something nice about tactile and tangible features.
It feels really good to be a part of something that has cultural relevance, which is sort of a funny thing to say considering the cultural moment that these objects had were decades ago.
But finding new popularity now, thanks to consumers like me and suppliers like Retrospekt. In Milwaukee, James Groh, TMJ4 News.